All right, so it's been about 2 months since the Philadelphia Union season has come to an end, and it is time now to put the 2019 season behind us and let us look forward to the 2020 season. And just because the Philadelphia Union haven't made any signings does not mean that there is nothing to look forward to, guys, because the Philadelphia Union have dropped the schedule. That is right. The schedule is released. We know exactly who the Union play, when they play, what stadiums. And here today, guys, we're going to look at it. We're going to look at the games upcoming this season because, guys, I'm ready for some MLS soccer. I don't know about you, but I'm ready for my blue and gold to come back. So here on DOOP by the River, guys, we're going to look at the Philadelphia Union's 2020 MLS season. But sit back, hang tight, guys, because you don't want to miss any of this whatsoever. Let's get this going, guys. Done! Welcome everyone to DOOP by the River, this show where we follow everything Philadelphia Union with me and Parceo Philly. And if this is the first time you are tuning in to DOOP by the River, or you're returning back, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it, guys. But if you guys want to see Parceo Philly grow here in the Philadelphia sports landscape, definitely help me out here. We're trying to grow in that Philadelphia sports landscape. So help me out by liking this video, subscribing to this channel, hitting the bell button for notifications, as well as sharing this video and this channel. But that's right, guys, we got the schedule out here today. And now as much as I want to, make predictions and let you guys know how I think the Union will finish this season, you really can't make those predictions yet because you don't know what kind of team we have here with the Philadelphia Union. The Union still have to make signings. The Union still need to reconstruct this roster, specifically in that midfield, as we have discussed countless of times here on my channel here. So we still got some work to do with the Philadelphia Union. So I just figured let's just look at those schedule together. Let's just briefly talk about what we'll be looking forward to against those certain teams. So let's start it off, guys. So in the month of February, we only have one game. That's when the season kicks off this year. They're pushing it back a little earlier than last season. If I'm not mistaken, last year we played Toronto FC on March 8th, if I'm not mistaken. So this year we're pushing it back. Of course, if you didn't know already, we opened the season on February 29th. It'll be a 6 p.m. So 6 in the afternoon kickoff against FC Dallas. So of course, when we're talking about FC Dallas, Dallas sucks because we all hate the Dallas Cowboys here in Philadelphia. But of course, besides, the whole Dallas thing, is we're going to see Fafa again. If you guys don't know, Fafa definitely goes down as top 5, one of my favorite players in Philadelphia Union history. So being able to see him in his new colors is going to be hard to see, but definitely, I'm going to be rooting for Fafa this year. I really hope he does well for FC Dallas. It's a perfect piece for FC Dallas, quite frankly. The whole youth movement that they got down in Dallas. So Gonzalez is going to love having a guy like Fafa mentoring the youngsters. Fafa kind of did the same thing here in Philadelphia, so that's the perfect opportunity for Fafa down there. So we will see those guys to start off the season. It's going to be Saturday, February 29th. Now, we start off the season on the road back-to-back weeks. So in the beginning of March, we will be on the road. And it's not going to get any easier because we have to travel to LA to face off against LAFC. Really early in the season, we got the first LA matchup of the season for us. So that's going to be a tough matchup. That'll be a Sunday, March 8th match. It'll be 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. West Coast time can be a little difficult at times here for the Union, but I don't mind those late games. It guarantees that I'll be able to watch it with my crazy work schedule. So that'll be the second game. We will be up in LA. Hopefully they don't kill us. We all know how the Union play out in the West Coast, specifically in Southern California. So that should be a fun game. But then the next week, guys, we are home for the first time. The home opener will be on March 14th, the day after your boy's birthday. So I might show up a little hangover. Just kidding, guys. I won't show up hangover. Come on. For the Union on my birthday? Hell no. I'm going to be sober as F. So it'll be a Saturday. Man, my birthday's on a Friday. It's pretty dope. Saturday, March 14th at 7:30 p.m. It'll be a nighttime kickoff. It is going to be freaking freezing in Philadelphia, well, in Chester. So be bundled up, Union fans. Don't do what I did last year. I literally went to the home opener in a Under Armour underfleece and a hoodie. With my sombrero, of course. Don't do that. Wear a coat, wear scarves, wear gloves. Be prepared. It's going to be cold, so be prepared. And that should be an advantage because we have the San Jose Earthquakes coming into town, playing in chilly Philadelphia weather. Now, Matias Almeida and them Latinos with their Latino flair over in California, like you're gonna feel that cold weather, that cold, brisk Chester weather. You're gonna feel so, but it'll of course be fun seeing. I want to see Matias up close and personal. You know, me following South American soccer for as long as I have, you know, I know how good Matias is. I know how good he is as a manager. So he did a good job with San Jose. They still have to make some signings themselves, but that should be a fun game, quite honestly. So I'll be looking forward to that home opener. You know your boy's going to be there. You know your boy's going to be down in Rivers and rocking with my Sons of Ben. Let's go get this done. Let's get that first LBU at home. Let's go. The next game will be the next week. It's a Sunday, March 22nd game at 3:30 p.m. So it'll be a nice afternoon game, and it's a little early for a rivalry game here, but we got DC United at home. Really early here for us here against DC United. So we will see. We don't really know what DC United is going to look like this year. Obviously, we all know no Wayne Rooney. Is Luciano Costa going to still be there? Is Paul Areola going to still be there? So we will see. But really early for our first DC game to be in March. So that'll be Sunday. Again, that'll be Sunday, March 22nd. All right, the next game we'll be back on the road here. Damn, the Union are getting all the good games out of the way early. We'll be facing off against the Portland Timbers on March 28th. It'll be again a late kickoff because of West Coast times. It'll be a 10:30 p.m. kickoff out in Providence Park. It'll be tough yet again. You know, Portland's still going to be dangerous next year. And to start off the season, you already have potentially could have been 4 of the Western Conference playoff teams to start off the season. So it's not going to be easy for this Philadelphia Union team. And you have to expect with some new pieces in there, they're going to go through their bumps and bruises. So I don't know how this Union team is going to look like after March here. But, you know, Posidelphia, right? Right, Jeff? Posidelphia. All right, let's head into April here, guys. And to start it off, our first Miami trip, our first South Florida trip. We will be heading down to Fort Lauderdale, face off against the expansion Inter Miami. Damn, I cannot believe after all these years I'm able to say the Philadelphia Union is going to face off against a Miami soccer team. Bravo for Miami, though. So it'll be a Sunday, April 5th match, a 3 o'clock kickoff down in Fort Lauderdale. So again, we don't really know what Inter Miami is going to look like. They still don't have a manager. They still haven't filled out their whole roster yet either. So that should be fun that's going to be fun to witness. I follow a lot of what Vice City does down there. They look like to be the main supporters group down in Inter Miami. Not too familiar, but those guys have shown me love, so I return the love back as always. And so I will be excited to see what those guys look like. I'm not going to make the trip out there to Miami, unfortunately, but eventually, of course, I have roots down in Miami, so I'm going to go to Miami eventually. But that should be a fun game. So the next week after that, we have our first Montreal game. It'll be at home. We'll be back in Chester. It'll be a 1 o'clock kickoff down at Town Energy Stadium. Again, it's a Saturday, April 11th match against Montreal. We will see Titi Henry making his return back to Town Energy. And you know damn well I'm going to boo the crap out of Titi Henry. Once a Red Bull, always a Red Bull. You suck. All right, next game. We're back at home against the other LA team. So, you're facing some of the Western Conference powerhouses early in the season, which I like. Get those out the way. Hope we will see what the second half of the season looks like, but from what it's looking like, it's going to be a little bit easier. But LA Galaxy down in Talent Energy, Wednesday, April 15th. time to be determined. So we will see what time that is, if all things work out well. Hopefully that's a nighttime game. The time is to be determined, but I'm going to assume it's going to be a night game. You can't have a midweek game and have it during the day because no one's going to show up. So, and honestly, I'm going to be curious to see, because last time the Galaxy were in town, it was the Zlatan show, right? All the Zlatan fans around our area were coming out to watch Zlatan play for LA Galaxy. But the LA Galaxy really don't have any more stars. I know Jonathan Dos Santos has a pretty, big following in America, obviously being a consistent Mexican national team call-up. So we will see what kind of crowd we get out for the LA Galaxy game. But, quite frankly, the LA Galaxy always bring out crowds. It's a well-known franchise in MLS. So I'm expecting to see a big crowd for that game. The next week after that, April 19th, a 4 o'clock in the afternoon game. We have, it'll be a Sunday as well. We have the New York City Baseball Club. I meant the New York City Football. I'm so sorry. The New York City Football Club. They will be coming down, and we got to get some revenge here, guys. They swept us last year. All right, and we have right now what looks like to be a 5-match losing streak against NYCFC. It's time to get this off our back. Let's beat NYCFC. Let's get it out the way. We're going to be at home. NYCFC is probably not going to be the same strong team that we saw last year. And I hope we see Castellanos out there in Talent Energy, because I got some more stuff for you, baby. More stuff for you. The next week after that, April 25th, 7:30 kickoff. We will be in Columbus, Matt Beyer Stadium. That should be an interesting game. I already called Columbus being one of my dark horses for next season, so we will see. Up to that point, we definitely will see what kind of team they will have next year. But we will see them up close and personal on April 25th. All right, to start off May, we will be back home against FC Cincinnati. It's a May 2nd, a time to be determined as well. Hopefully that'll be an afternoon game for me personally. And we will see what kind of team FC Cincinnati will be this year. Obviously, they were one of the worst expansion teams we've seen maybe ever in MLS. And this year, we will see how they bounce back. Obviously, they have our boy Harris Medunjanin out there. So, it'll be good to see him come back, hopefully, with FC Cincinnati. May 2nd is that game. All right, the next week, my parceros from Atlanta will be up here. Hopefully we get some parceros from Parceros United up here for that game. Last year was a lot of fun when Atlanta come up here. We had a lot of fans come up, and those are some great guys, honestly. The Atlanta United fans, I know they get a lot of slack. It's the new soccer fans, but those guys actually do from the ones I've met, they actually know their soccer and they know what they're talking about. So hopefully we can get some more Atlanta United fans. Hopefully Parceros United can make an appearance up in Philadelphia. So that would be fun. That's going to be a May 9th game. So it's going to be a Saturday, time to be determined as well. But I'm going to assume it's going to be a night game. These Philly and Atlanta games have been, quite honestly, quite explosive. Not going to lie. All right, and then the next week, we're making our first trip down to Nashville. I will not be making that trip. I am not going back to Nashville again. No offense to the city, but it's just not my type of vibes. It'll be a 8 o'clock kickoff down in Nashville. It's going to be a midweek game on my father's birthday, May 13th. That I will be celebrating with you during the day, because at night it's for the Union. I love you, but the Union will take up my night. But that'll be a fun game against Nashville. It'll be fun to see what Nashville does as well. They seem to be getting a little bit of hype. They're still not as relevant within this city as some thought that they would be. So, of course, winning cures all. So if they are off the bat winning, I definitely believe that Nashville will bring out some fans for sure. All right, the next week, May 16th, it's going to be a Saturday. We will actually be home. We'll be back home at Talent Energy Stadium, and we will be facing off against Sporting Kansas City. And you guys know I want to see Alin Pulido up close and personal. Pulido is a MLS 3.0 type of signing. This is still a guy who's in his prime. Just played the last couple years with Chivas de Guadalajara down in Mexico. And this boy knows how to score. And this is the piece that Peter Vermees needs, in my opinion, to take this SKC to back to where he knows where to take them. So that is going to be a fun game. Time is to be determined, but that should be fun, and that'll actually be 3 days after the Nashville game there. All right, and then the next week will be my road. This will be my away game. It is the Saturday, May 23rd game at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Thank you, Lord, because I'm probably have to fly in the morning. And we will be away to Colorado Rapids. Yes, guys, if you have nothing planned for that Memorial Day weekend, come celebrate with your favorite parcero. That is me. I will be out in Colorado having some fun, doing some hiking, and it's my first time ever out in Colorado, so I'm going to be enjoying that, and hopefully my Union can get a W. And of course, it's going to be good seeing Keegan Rosenberg and Austin Trusty again. That should be a fun game. If you're not doing anything, guys, come on out. Come on out. We're going to have a good time out there. All right, we're going to be coming back home the next week. It's Saturday, May 30th. Time to be determined again. That'll be a home game against the Columbus Crew. That'll be the second Columbus Crew game. And of course, we will learn a lot about both of those teams at that point. Yes, to kick off June. Oof. Perfect timing here. So to kick off June, guys, what else better than the Turnpike Derby here? Union versus Red Bull, the rematch of the playoffs last year. And you know the Red Bull are going to have that circled. This is now a rivalry officially. After that playoff game, the Red Bull fans can say what they want, but this is a rivalry game now. And honestly, the Red Bull, we don't know what kind of team that they will have next year. They have a lot of turnover going into next year. So we will see what they actually do look like, but we will be up there Saturday, June 6th at 6 p.m. All right, the next week we'll be back home facing off against RSL. That'll be a June 30th game on Saturday with a time to be determined. All right, let's move on to next week. It'll be a June 20th game, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are back down in Atlanta. We'll be back in the A, facing off against Atlanta United. I don't think I will be there for that game. I still have to look at the schedule, but I believe we have Copa America around the time, and Copa America this year will be hosted by my Colombia. So I'm trying to make some plans to get back home to Colombia to watch Colombia in my hometown of Cali. So I will not be able to witness that game. But guys, if you have never been to Atlanta for a game, I highly recommend doing it. It's really, when I went last year, it to me was such a culture shock. Never seen a city in America embrace soccer the way Atlanta has embraced Atlanta United and soccer in general. So if you guys want to know what I want Philly to be as far as soccer city, go down to Atlanta, and that's what I want it to be. That will be so that's a Saturday, June 20th game. The next week we will be back home Saturday, June 27th at 6 p.m. We'll be facing off against them Vancouver Whitecaps, and they actually do intrigue me a little bit. I am a fan and a believer in Marcos dos Santos. I just think they need to get him some better pieces, specifically find that striker, which everyone knows it's hard to find. So we will see them up close and personal on June 27th. All right, heading into July 4th, we actually won't be in America. We will be in Canada for America's Independence Day. That should be interesting. We will be up in Montreal facing off against the Impact. That'll be the second game of 2 for the Montreal series. We will be facing off against Titi Henry and those boys. That'll be a 7 o'clock kickoff time. I'm more than likely, not going to lie to you, will be drunk at the Jersey Shore watching that game. All right, guys. A couple days later, we have a midweek game. It is away at Chicago. And as we all know, Chicago gone through this whole new rebrand. It's now Chicago Fire FC, not SC. So sorry. They're all bougie now. They're football, not soccer. And that ugly badge, my God, and the neglect of the fan. Well, whatever. We're not gonna get into that. But that will be a Wednesday, July 8th at 8 o'clock. We will be playing in a football field, an American football field, Soldier Field, where the Chicago Bears play. 8 o'clock, July 8th. Wednesday, midweek. Go Union. All right, next week, the next game. Saturday, July 11th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be back in Talon Energy to face off against Toronto FC. Man, that home opener last year still grinds my gears. We better win this game here. I'll be looking forward to that. Maybe Parceo makes an appearance here in Philly. Maybe they'll. All right. Following that game, Saturday, July 18th, with the time to be determined, the Philadelphia Union will face off against the New England Revolution in Talon Energy. Hopefully, it's another 6-1 victory by the Union again. And we still own New England, don't we? We still own New England. All right, after that, July 25th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, we will be down in Disney facing off against Orlando City SC. We will see. They're another question mark team, so we will see what they look like. But we will take our first trip to Disney on July 25th. All right, to kick off August, Miami will be up here. And this is my open invitation to Vice City. Vice City, guys, come on out to Philly. You guys are more than welcome to come here in Philly. I will give you the tour of Chester. You guys will feel like you are at home. But I will be excited for that. I will be excited to see that game. Saturday, August 1st, time to be determined. Hopefully, again, I hope that's a nighttime game. Union versus Miami. That should be fun. All right, the next week, hopefully I can make this game here. It'll be Saturday, August 8th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be up in Yankee Stadium, or will it be? Yeah, Yankee Stadium to face off against NYCFC. Hopefully I can see my boys, the Soccer Cooligans, up there. And from what I'm hearing, we have a Phillies and Unions double header that day. So maybe I can make that. I would love to check out my Phillies and my Union face off in one day. That would be so much fun to do. So we will see what the plans entail for that Saturday. But yep, that'll be August 8th. We will be up in New York City. Will that be the day we finally win up in Yankee Stadium? I really hope so. I really do. But that NYCFC away games kicks off a 3-game road trip. So the following Saturday, we will be up in Toronto. We will have our second game against Toronto FC. That'll be August 15th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be up in BMO Field. And then the next week, Saturday, August 22nd at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be facing off against DC United. We will be back in our house in the middle of DC. Yeah, we better fucking win that game damn straight. All right, to round out August, guys, we have Orlando City coming up here. Disney SC will be up here. So August 29th, time to be determined. That should be fun there. All right, we're getting into September here now, guys. Saturday, September 12th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be up in Gillette Stadium to face off against the New England Revolution. That'll be the second and final game against the Revs. After that, guys, we will be back on the road Saturday, September 19th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be up in Nippert Stadium to face off against FC Cincinnati. The second Red Bull game, September 27th, with the time to be determined. That'll be a Sunday. I get it's the Red Bull, guys, but you really have to schedule the same days as the Eagles. That really doesn't help us at all. You know Philadelphians are going to pick the Eagles over the Union. I will not, however. Unless the Eagles are playing the Cowboys, there is nothing that stumps Union over Red Bull. That's just the cold hard facts. So we will have the second and final Red Bull game Sunday, September 27th, with the time to be determined. And guys, be loud and rowdy, and everyone be there at that game, unless the Eagles are playing the Cowboys. All right, and then to end the season, guys, so the end of our season will be Sunday, October 4th, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will face off for the last time against Chicago Fire FC. And that will be, hopefully, it's going to be a fun game. I love having the final home game on the actual last day of the regular season. So that'll be great. Decision day for sure on that day. Hopefully our decision will be made up just like last year. But yeah, guys, that's the Union schedule this year. I don't want to go over predictions because the Union still have a lot of question marks on this roster. So we don't know what kind of team we have yet this year. But once we have the team ready, of course, I will make a season preview closer to the season start. So we will go over the whole schedule, what I think the Union will do. But just overlooking at it, just like I mentioned, guys, what really catches my eye is the beginning of the season. That's really difficult. You know, you're facing off again the first 2 months here. You have LA Galaxy, you have LAFC, you have the Portland Timbers, and you have FC Dallas. Oh, and you also have San Jose Earthquakes, who almost made the playoffs last year. So off the bat, the schedule is not going to be easy. So you're going to go through your bumps and bruises. You're going to have some new pieces you're going to have to try to implement and get them acclimated to this Union team. So it's going to be tough. And as you guys know, with expansion of the MLS, now there's going to be teams that we won't face in the Western Conference this season. So this year you won't see Minnesota United, you won't see Houston Dynamo, and you also won't see the reigning MLS Cup champs, Seattle Sounders. So those three teams will not be on the schedule this year, but that's okay. That was really okay. I just wanted to see Colorado on there because that's really where I wanted to make my trip this year. But guys, that's all I have for you today. It was just going over the schedule, just looking at it real quick, a quick little quick reaction of what I thought of the Union schedule here. But in the comments below, you want to talk about the schedule here, guys? Let's talk about it. Let me know how you guys felt as far as the Union schedule going into 2020. Hey guys, if you liked what you saw here today and you want to see more Union content, help me out. Help me out by growing this channel. You can do that by liking this video, subscribing to this channel, hitting the bell button for those notifications, as well as sharing this video and this channel. And of course, if you want to follow me on other platforms or social media, definitely do so. Follow me on Twitter at Parceo Philly, and you can also follow me on Instagram at L_Parceo_Philly. And until next time, I'm in Parceo Philly, reminding you guys to DOOP on, baby. DOOP on.